You're standing in a gleaming boardroom, heart racing, facing the same smug faces that once laughed at your broken English and treated you like you were nothing. But now, you're the one calling the shots. Hi, I'm Nadia, and this is my real-life story of turning humiliation into a multi-million-dollar empire. If you've ever been belittled or underestimated, buckle up. This tale of sweet, satisfying revenge will have you fist-pumping by the end. Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia, and I'm 28 years old, living in New York City. By day, I'm the CEO of a thriving tech startup focused on sustainable energy solutions. But my journey here was anything but easy. I want to share a deeply personal story from my life, one that's raw, real, and straight from my heart. This isn't some made-up drama. It's what I lived through, from the lowest lows to the highest highs. If you've ever felt that burning sting of disrespect, that powerless rage when someone looks down on you, or if you've dreamed of flipping the script and serving up justice, then this is for you. Hit that like button if you're ready for a story that'll inspire you to chase your own comeback. Subscribe now so you don't miss more tales like this. And let's dive right in. Trust me, by the time we're done, you'll feel empowered and maybe even a little vindicated. All right. Let's rewind the clock and take you back to where it all began. I was just 19 years old when I left my small village in Eastern Europe, a place where the streets were dusty, the houses modest, and opportunities as scarce as rain in a drought. My family scraped by on my father's meager farm income, and my mother always told me, "Nadia, go make something of yourself. Send back what you can." So, with a single suitcase crammed with hand-me-down clothes, a few family photos, and a heart full of naive hope, I boarded a plane to the United States. My English, it was broken at best, words tumbling out with a thick accent that made me sound like I was speaking through a mouthful of marbles. I landed in New York, the city of dreams. But for me, it started as a city of harsh realities. I needed work fast. No fancy degrees, no connections, just a work visa and a willingness to do anything. That's how I ended up as a maid at Apex Corp, this massive corporate headquarters in downtown Manhattan. The building was a towering beast of glass and chrome, piercing the skyline like a symbol of untouchable success. Inside, the air was crisp with the scent of fresh brewed coffee from high-end machines and the faint hum of printers spitting out endless reports. My shifts started before dawn, at 5 a.m. sharp. I'd swipe my badge at the service entrance, the one hidden in the back alley, away from the polished lobby where executives strutted in with their briefcases and designer suits. Pushing my cleaning cart down those dimly lit hallways felt like entering another world. The wheels squeaked softly on the marble floors, echoing in the emptiness. I'd vacuum carpets that were plush and expensive, probably imported from somewhere exotic, costing more per square foot than my entire monthly rent in a cramped shared apartment in Queens. Wiping down desks was a ritual. Dusting off crumbs from late-night snacks, emptying trash bins overflowing with crumpled memos and half-eaten sandwiches. The executives' offices were like shrines to their egos, walls lined with awards, shelves boasting crystal trophies, and massive windows overlooking the city. That seemed so far out of reach for someone like me. And the people? Let's talk about the antagonists who made my days a living hell. First, there was Mr. Harlan, the vice president of operations. He was in his mid-40s, tall and broad-shouldered, with slicked back hair that screamed "I'm important," and a bark-like laugh that could cut through a room. He'd spot me mopping the conference room and toss out barbs like they were casual chit-chat. "Hey, Nadia, or is it Natasha? Whatever your name is, make sure you scrub that spot under my desk. I spilled my double espresso again, and I don't want it staining." He'd grin at his colleagues, who chuckled along as if I were the evening's entertainment. My stomach would twist, a hot flush creeping up my neck, but I'd nod politely, gripping the mop handle until my knuckles turned white. Inside, my thoughts raced. How dare he? Does he even see me as a person, or just a tool to clean up his messes? Then there was Miss Reynolds, the head of human resources. Ironic, right? She was a sharp-featured woman in her 30s, always clad in tailored pantsuits and heels that clicked authoritatively down the halls like metronomes of judgment. Her office smelled of lavender air freshener, masking the underlying tension she created. One afternoon, while I was dusting the filing cabinets, I accidentally bumped a stack of confidential papers, sending a few fluttering to the floor. She whirled around from her computer, eyes narrowing like daggers. "Do you even comprehend what these documents are, Nadia? These aren't your village folktales. They're critical business files. If you can't handle basic tasks without causing chaos, maybe this isn't the job for you." Her voice dripped with condescension, and I felt a surge of humiliation wash over me. My cheeks burning, my hands trembling as I gathered the papers. Village folktales? I seethed internally. She has no clue about my life, my struggles. One day, she'll eat those words. The disrespect wasn't isolated. It was a daily drip, eroding my spirit like acid rain. I worked mostly night shifts to avoid the crowds, which meant I'd often be in the building when meetings ran late. Slipping into conference rooms to empty bins or wipe down whiteboards, I'd overhear everything. They'd discuss market strategies, potential mergers, the latest in tech disruptions, terms like scalability, blockchain integration, and sustainable innovation that intrigued me. At first, I didn't understand half of it, but I listened intently, my ears perking up like antennas. During my short lunch breaks, I'd sneak into the storage closet, a dim, stuffy space crammed with supplies, and pull out an old laptop I'd salvaged from the lost and found. Hunched over, the screen's glow illuminating my face, I'd devour free online courses on business, coding, and entrepreneurship. My eyes would water from the strain, my back screaming from the awkward position. But I'd push on. Knowledge is power, I'd remind myself, whispering it like a mantra. They think I'm nothing, but I'll show them. As the months turned into years, the emotional toll mounted. I was 21 now, still scrubbing, still invisible. The underestimation gnawed at me, that feeling of powerlessness, like I was trapped in a cage while they soared above. Betrayal came in small packages, forgotten paychecks, denied breaks, casual slurs about my absent. One particularly brutal day, after a 12-hour shift where my feet throbbed and my arms ached from polishing endless surfaces, I mustered the courage to ask for a small raise. I approached Mr. Harlan in the break room, my voice steady despite the knot in my throat. "Sir, I've been here 2 years. I work hard. Could we discuss a raise?" He paused, coffee mug in hand, and then erupted in laughter. Deep, mocking bellows that drew stares. A raise? For what? Shining my shoes better? Stick to the basics, kid. Dreams like that are for people who belong here. His words landed like punches, leaving me breathless. I retreated to the bathroom, locking myself in a stall, hot tears streaming down my face. My body shook with silent sobs, fists clenched against the cold tile. Why? Why do they get to crush me like this? I have dreams too, bigger than their narrow minds can imagine. But that pain, it became my fuel. Every snide comment, every overlooked effort stoked the fire inside. I started studying harder, enrolling in evening classes at a local community college. Juggling shifts and homework was exhausting. I'd collapse into bed at 2 a.m., only to wake at 4 for another day. My apartment was a shoebox, peeling wallpaper, a leaky faucet dripping like a reminder of my struggles, and a single window overlooking a noisy street. Yet, in that space, ideas bloomed, inspired by the waste I saw at Apex, endless paper, energy-guzzling lights left on overnight. I began tinkering with an app concept, something to track and optimize sustainability in offices. Real-time energy monitoring, waste reduction algorithms. I'd code late into the night, fingers flying over keys still sticky from cleaning chemicals, debugging errors with a determination that bordered on obsession. This is my way out, I'd think, staring at the screen until my vision blurred. They mock me now, but wait. The antagonism escalated. Miss Reynolds accidentally delayed my overtime pay multiple times, claiming clerical errors. I overheard her once in the hallway, whispering to a colleague, "Why rush it? She's just the help," probably sending it back to wherever she's from. The words sliced deep, igniting a rage that simmered in my chest like a coiled spring. Powerlessness turned to resentment, then to resolve. I saved every dime, eating ramen and skipping luxuries, building a tiny nest egg. At 22, I upgraded to night janitor. Slightly better pay, but the mockery persisted. Harlan would host team-building events, excluding support staff like me, then leave the mess for us to clean, laughing about it. By 23, the breaking point hit. After a grueling shift where I'd scrubbed vomit from a executive's office post-party, don't ask, I sat in my apartment, exhausted and defeated. But scrolling through my phone, I stumbled on a startup accelerator program. A chance for budding entrepreneurs to pitch ideas and get funding. The deadline loomed, just days away. Doubt flooded me. Who am I to apply? A maid with an accent? But then Harlan's laughter echoed in my mind. Reynolds' sneers. No, I wouldn't let them win. I poured everything into the application. Late nights drafting, refining my pitch for EcoForge, my green tech platform. My hands shook as I hit submit, heart pounding like a drum. Miraculously, I got in. The email arrived during a shift. I read it in the storage closet, tears of joy mixing with the dust. They saw potential, not in my past, but in my idea. I quit Apex quietly, slipping a resignation note into HR. Ms. Reynolds probably shrugged it off. To her, I was replaceable. But for me, it was liberation. The next chapter was a blur of hustle. With a small grant from the accelerator, I bootstrapped EcoForge from coffee shops and libraries. The aroma of espresso became my office scent, the clatter of keyboards my soundtrack. I coded relentlessly, building prototypes that optimized energy use with AI-driven insights. Hired my first team member, a fellow immigrant coder, overlooked by big firms. We worked from my apartment at first, papers strewn across the floor, laptops humming. Growth was slow. Rejections from investors who dismissed my accent or background. Interesting idea, but do you have experience? They'd ask, eyebrows raised. Each no fueled me more. Just like Apex, I'd think bitterly. But persistence paid. A viral demo on social media caught fire. Eco-influencers sharing our app's impact on reducing carbon footprints. Partnerships rolled in. Small businesses, then corporations hungry for green creds. By 25, EcoForge was booming, valued in the millions. I kept anonymous, my face out of press releases. Why? The reveal would be epic. Whispers of our success reached industry ears. Meanwhile, Apex faltered. Bad decisions piled up. Failed mergers, outdated tech, a toxic culture leaking talent like a sieve. Harlan's bark lost its bite. Reynolds' clicks sounded desperate. Through contacts, I learned they sought a savior. A merger with a hot startup like ours. I smiled in my sleek new office, overlooking the same skyline. Game on. Planning the revenge was meticulous, like a chess master plotting moves. I attended conferences incognito, dark wig, contacts, blending into crowds. Gathered intel. Apex's finances were a mess. Execs overpaid while workers suffered. My team analyzed reports, spotting vulnerabilities, inefficient ops, ignored sustainability mandates. We positioned EcoForge as the perfect partner, but I demanded anonymity. No names, no faces until ink dried. Negotiations dragged. Tense emails, my fingers hovering over send, heart thumping. They'll never see it coming. Short sentences in updates built suspense. Long nights reviewing terms amplified drama. I visualized the payoff endlessly, their shocked faces, the sweet taste of validation. Fears crept in. What if they recognize my name? What if it backfires? But determination won. Sensory details sharpened my resolve. The feel of my new suit's fabric, the scent of victory in the air. The fateful day dawned crisp and clear, October sunlight filtering through my penthouse windows. I stood before the mirror, adjusting my tailored suit, a silk blouse hugging my frame. A sharp blazer exuding power, pants that swished confidently. No apron, no mop, just me, transformed. My hands were steady, but inside emotions churned, a whirlwind of excitement, lingering anger, and nervous anticipation. The drive to Apex was surreal. Traffic blurred by, my mind replaying years of slights. This is for every tear, every mocking laugh. The boardroom hadn't changed. That same mahogany table I'd polished countless times, gleaming under fluorescent lights that once stung my eyes during late cleans. Chairs creaked as I waited outside, eavesdropping on their anxious murmurs. This anonymous CEO better deliver. Harlan growled, voice gravelly with stress. We're on life support. Reynolds chimed in. If they back out, we're done. Their desperation was palpable, a far cry from their former arrogance. I pushed the door open, heels clicking with purpose. My turn for that sound. The room froze. Harlan's coffee cup halted mid-air, liquid sloshing. Reynolds' jaw dropped, eyes bulging in disbelief. The CEO, an older man who'd never deigned to notice me, furrowed his brow. Silence stretched, thick and electric. "Recognize me?" I asked, voice calm but laced with steel. My accent now a badge of pride rather than shame. Harlan sputtered first, face paling. Nadia. The maid? This is some joke, right? He half rose, chair scraping harshly. Reynolds turned crimson, stammering, "Impossible. You? How? What is this?" Her hands fluttered uselessly, knocking over a pen that rolled across the table like a symbol of their crumbling control. I claimed the head seat, their seat, crossing my legs with deliberate poise. The wood felt solid under my palms, a throne I'd earned. "EcoForge isn't here to merge," I declared, sliding acquisition papers across. "We're buying Apex outright. Your toxic management ends today. We'll dismantle it, rebuild with fairness, promoting the workers you dismissed, implementing sustainable practices you ignored." My words hung heavy, each one a payback for their cruelties. Harlan exploded, fist slamming the table, veins bulging. "You can't do this. Who the hell do you think you are? Coming in here like some avenging angel. We built this company." His bark cracked, revealing vulnerability. I leaned forward, locking eyes, those same eyes that once dismissed me. "I'm Nadia, the one you called honey, the one whose dreams you ridiculed, the one with the broken English who outsmarted you all. And yes, I can, because I built something better while you rotted from within." Reynolds tried bargaining, voice quivering. "Please, we can work something out. I didn't mean those things." But it was too late. Contracts were ironclad, our offer irresistible in their desperation. Humiliation etched their faces. Harlan deflated, muttering curses, as he gathered papers with shaking hands. Reynolds averted her gaze, cheeks flushed with shame. The CEO signed, silently, defeated. As they filed out, tails tucked, ego shattered, a wave of release crashed over me. Triumph surged through my veins like electricity, dissolving the old knots of pain. Relief flooded in, warm and validating. I did it, I thought. Standing alone in the room, they once made me clean their tables. Now I own them all. Tears pricked my eyes, not of sorrow, but pure, cathartic joy. Reflecting on it now, this journey taught me profound lessons about justice and resilience. Karma isn't always swift, but it's relentless. Those who sow disrespect reap their own downfall. I learned that pain can be a powerful teacher, turning underestimation into unbreakable drive. If you're out there feeling powerless, remember, your story isn't over. Use the fire they ignite in you to forge your path. Life balances the scales when you least expect it, and true validation comes from within. Stay true, keep pushing. Your turnaround might be just around the corner. There you have it, folks, my unfiltered story of rising from the ashes. If it fired you up or gave you those goosebumps of satisfaction, Smash that like button hard and share in the comments. What's your most memorable revenge tale, real or imagined? I love reading them and might even feature some in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more empowering stories that prove anyone can turn the tables. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss out. Thanks for joining me today. You're all amazing. Stay fierce, and I'll see you in the next one.